Hello, survivors, and welcome to the Zombicide Fans Podcast, where we discuss and review all Zombicide games. I'm Ryan, and along with hosts Schmedley and James, we're picking up right where we stopped last episode to continue our discussion and review on Army of the Dead, a Zombicide game. Thanks for listening, and here we go. So let's talk about the vault. How does the vault work?
So, fundamentally, it's you go in there, and then you flip it, and there's some kind of modifier based on who's around. Well, is it always who's around?
The backs of the
0
cards.
to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the backs of the cards say roll 5 dice up to 3. I honestly actually don't remember how it works because I didn't get that far in my mission today to refresh.
So it's Yahtzee. So basically,
you're going for a straight Yahtzee style.
Oh, that's right.
You get 3 tries. You get to keep as many dice as you want between the 3 tries. And then the modifier allows you to either add a die or +1 to a die or change the result of a die, depending on who you have around or what equipment you have on hand. Like the jerry can might help you, or a mechanic in your zone or one zone away might help you. But basically, it's 3 chances to get a straight.
Okay, so there are other ones besides who's around. Both times, this is the only time we played the head of vault. The other mission didn't. The only one we saw was you need a bruiser around, so I wasn't sure if it was always stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes it's like discard a jerry can, and you get something a bonus.
Very cool, by the way, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm just showing off my 3D printed safe vault door. I mean, yeah, it's got a hinge and it opens up. It's fun, and I made a slot for it so you can put the card in a little slot. Like, well, I used to. Okay, there you go. And then when you're done, flip it around, stand it up, and slot it like on the back or the front.
Love it.
There's a little stand for it. Anyway, sorry. Yes, the vault I find to be really fun. It's not like, I kind of wish it was when I first saw the concept in the rule book, like that there's mechanics around opening the vault and like the booby trap and all that stuff. I got really excited about it. And it is fun and it is cool. It puts a smile on my face because they didn't have to go that far. Like they didn't have to do anything with it, but they did. They went a little bit extra mile. I just wish it was a little bit more. I wish it was more of a mini game to it, but it's still a very fun mini game. Just roll up.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
I kind of wish that there was more of a game to opening the vault rather than working through the booby traps, because that's kind of more of a vault thing.
Because Dieter only needs to be there for like the last step.
Yeah. What'd you think about it, James?
Yeah, I think a lot of people read things about new things that are coming out for Zombicide, and they think that they're going to be more complex than they are. But keep in mind, this is a very simplistic game at its core. It's not trying to be overcomplicated. We're trying to keep very simple concepts, very simple ideas. We're trying to keep a game going. And I don't mind the level of difficulty. I think it's just complex enough to have something to do, but not so complex that I feel like I got to go back to the rule book and read the rules on, okay, now how does this work again? I mean, I read the rules once. I understand it. I get it. Let's go.
Yeah, honestly, this 3 dice straight thing with modifiers, that's probably the most complex a single action in Zombicide gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard other people complain about, other mechanics that Simon has come out and touted as being this, that, and the other, and then they're disappointed with them. But I mean, really, they're still trying to make a simple board game. We're not trying to make this too complex.
Yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Like, while I was saying, like, I'd like it to be more, I'd rather it be like this level of complication than not like too much, or complexity, I mean. Because I love that I don't have to keep going back to the rule book and checking, like, how does it work again? How does it? Because that could be annoying. And you're right. It's more in line with what we're used to, the flavor we're getting with these games.
I think we all said we'd also played Mission 1. Well, Ryan and I did, and James has played all of them. So do you guys want to you have any thoughts on that?
Mission 1 to the rescue. I don't remember it.
We don't have to go through the whole thing if you don't want. Yeah. So basically, you need to have this elevator is manually operated, so you need to have either a mechanic or a team that includes a mechanic kind of wait by the controls while everybody else goes up to the other floor.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
I really like this mission. I think that it's problematic in two ways. One, making it the first mission, I think was a bad idea because it's brutal. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And if you're learning the game and trying to cut your teeth on all the different rules and stuff, this is a hard mission to do that. You're going to lose a couple of times. I was playing this with my wife the first time, and it might have taken us 3 or 4 times to win it. We were definitely learning very quickly that running out of miniatures in this game is a thing.
Yeah.
We're not used to losing games due to running out of miniatures. But in this one, because of the spawn tokens, how you have to spread your people out. If you're spreading your people out, that means you're not killing as many zombies. The number of sleeper tokens, and essentially having one of your 6 characters kind of neutralized throughout part of the game by having to stay in that one zone. Obviously, Maria Cruz is the perfect fit for that. If you're going to have to stay in a zone to do something, then you might as well be able to search as many times as you can. I mean, that's just kind of one of those obvious things.
That's what we did, though. Like, that whole lot was booby trapped. You had all kinds of extra ammo. It was great.
Right. So it's a tough mission, and I really like it. I'm not trying to say I don't. Just having it as your first mission, I think is pretty brutal.
This one doesn't have a timer, does it?
No.
Okay.
Only 3 of them do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that rare.
Yeah, classic Simon / Zombicide choice to make like this really hard mission the first one. Like, why do they keep doing this?
I think, there was a big discussion. It always comes up because, like, one of the most brutal missions, I guess, in the franchise, commonly accepted, is like mission 2 of Marvel Zombies for some reason. And it's listed as an easy mission. What's the difficulty listed as for this one?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they do that, do they? Oh,
hard.
they do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Duration
so
long.
at least they're honest about it this time, yeah.
I like the durations. It's no more in minutes. It's like long, medium, or short, I think it is. I like that.
It's funny.
Long.
It's funny, long. Like, okay.
And they're right. They're right.
Really? Yeah, but it's more honest than 60 minutes. 25 minutes.
They got tired of being wrong.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. I love the tension of, like, you just have to hang a mechanic back in this spot way over here while whoever else is going to go and up the elevator on the other side. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's a brutal first mission for sure. I agree, but it's a fun one.
The other thing I like about it too,
if you prioritize getting the green and the blue ones to neutralize the Zeus spawn point as soon as possible, it's like,
yes,
all right.
Yeah. And obviously you want to get off of that second floor as quickly as you can.
That too.
Because that spawn point doesn't spawn if nobody's up there. But also, I think this mission is good because it kind of indoctrinates you on the tiles. Personally, another small nitpick art-wise on the tiles, I think they could have been more clear about a couple of things. One, where you're circling now, that bus isn't 110% clear to me whether or not there's supposed to be a space between it and the tile where the exit zone is. If you read through the rule book enough and you see the examples, you see that it is adjacent to the exit zone. So once you figure that out, that's great. But the other problem, if you scroll down, Ryan, is the tile with the Zeus spawn point and the Statue of Liberty. It took me a long time to figure out whether or not those spaces just to the north and just to the south were extra zones, which they are. It's kind of hard for me to see that yellow line is actually supposed to be delineating a zone. That took me a while anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it bothered anybody else.
It bothers me too. Yeah. I forget it sometimes.
And then the last one is going back up to the northwest, that tile there. Those 4 zones are actually interior zones. Like they look like they're street zones because they have cars in them, but they're actually not street zones. They're interior zones.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a long discussion about this before we figured that out too.
It's reinforced the confusion because they never put sleeper tokens there.
And there's cars there.
Yeah. And they look open.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. I feel like I probably thought of it like, or played it as interior sometimes and exterior other times. Not that it may have mattered in those instances, but it can. So it's good to know. I'm glad you made sure to state that for all of us to look out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cool.
I think that's the only missions both you and I have played, right, Ryan? Or have you played it anymore?
I played another one. Another
Anything of
two.
note?
Another two.
Oh,
Were those the only two that you played, Schmedley?
those are the only two I've played.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
excuse me. So yeah, I had to take my taco truck for a spin, of course. So I played Taco Your Way Out. This mission is marked as duration medium, difficulty medium, and I actually found it to be super easy, barely an
I
inconvenience.
did too.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
it
did
was
too.
part of it. I felt like was the luck. Again, I mentioned earlier, like I just kept getting all this great gear. Maybe that's part of the mission design. I had like grenades and grenade launchers and rocket launchers, like galore. I had these big, strong weapons galore. And of course, the gun on top of the taco truck is really, really strong too. I didn't get to drive the taco truck and mow down zombies nearly as much as I wanted to. I drove it like 2 spots, 3 spots, and I maybe hit things once or twice. It wasn't the same joyride experience I'm used to from other Zombicide games. I don't know if I did
Well,
something
it only
wrong.
moves one. It only moves one zone per turn. So yeah, you're not gonna get as many opportunities as driving fast with a car.
Yeah. But it was still fun, and I still enjoyed, of course, the nice 3D piece to it. But yeah, it was still a fun mission. It was easy, but it was fun. Like it was just such a it's just fun to just mow down so many zombies between the gun and like just the opportunity to find stuff. And I think Maria Hill was on Maria Hill. That's Marvel. Maria, what's her name? Cruz.
Cruz.
She was her and Lily were both like they were off to the side, like while everybody's on the truck doing their thing. They were off to the sides and the wings of everything, like, collecting the tokens and collecting tons of gear. And Maria's just like running gear back and forth to everybody. It was fun.
Yeah, your taco truck is so great, and I enjoyed playing with it so much that I'm really sad at how few missions actually have the taco truck in it. I wish they all had them in there. The thing I really liked about this mission was after the difficulty of trying to get through the first one and how many times I banged my head against the wall trying to win it, and then the tenseness, of the timer of the second one. This one kind of just felt like, get to relax a little bit, kill some zombies, have some fun, eat
Right?
some tacos. It was a good time.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
I almost wonder if they should have flipped these, but I mean, like this is kind of a trend from Simon. So maybe they do it on purpose. They know, like through playtesting or whatever, they know that like a harder first mission will get people more invested.
Like they must know that people play them in order, even though they're usually not like they're not designed in any specific order.
Yeah.
But like obviously the first one you look at is mission 1.
Right.
Totally. Yeah, you expect that to be the first one to play. The one other mission I played earlier today was mission 10. And why did I choose mission 10? I don't remember
Something
why.
like stick out about it.
I don't remember why now. I like decided to go all the way out here. Whatever. I did. And this
Nuke
mission,
incoming.
oh my God, this mission is damn near impossible. And this is me
It's
just
it's a time mission.
Yeah, time mission. Oh, yeah, so yeah, duration medium, difficulty hard, and it is a time mission, 8 time tracker, 8 spaces, aka 7 actual rounds, and it's huge. It uses all of the tiles. So there's a big main central area of the 6, and then there's on the sides of that the helicopter tile, and then the vault tile that you have to go up and down the elevator in to get to. And you just to go around this giant map and collect all the objective tokens and hope you get the right colors at the right times. And like what really kills me is that they have these doors. Oh no. Did I think I put my doors in the wrong spot. That's part of it. So there's 2 locked doors on the map, and I put them on this zone and this other zone over here, which made it harder. So I considered that both of these were totally blocked off and I couldn't get through here. That's a little minor thing. Not huge, but that is a minor thing that made it more difficult on myself. But yeah, it's a hard mission. It's all spread out. You have to get through 27 sleeper zone tokens. Not that you actually have to activate them all and deal with them all, but most of them, I think. And I found this to be very difficult. I was like, how can you do this in 8 7 rounds. Like, go and find all the colored objective tokens, get to the vault and open that up, and then get to the helicopter. Like, it's so much. Huh.
It's a tough one, and you might have actually been playing it correctly, Ryan, because if you actually look at that tile where the 2 doors are, one of the doors is actually placed on a wall,
Okay.
and so it could be a mistake in the map. Maybe it could be that the door should be down on that next opening.
Right.
So
Why I did that then.
You might have actually been playing that correctly, but we
Okay.
don't really know.
Yeah. How funny. Yeah. So did you ever end up finishing or winning this mission?
Yeah. So this was another tough one. It might be the toughest, if not the second toughest mission, in my opinion, on there, because not only is it a big map, but you are on a timer to a certain extent. Also, you have to have Ludwig, and this is another one where if you get Ludwig as personal objective, it's going to really slow you down because he has to be down there to open the vault. At the same time, he also has to kill 10 shamblers.
But there are no personal objectives on this one.
Is that true?
Yeah, right here. Setup. Do not assign any personal objectives.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's my mistake. But it's still tough. It's definitely a tough mission.
It's so much to get done in 7 rounds. It's insane.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, try it. I'm really curious to hear how it goes. If you could ever win this thing, I don't know if I ever can. We'll see. It's a fun challenge to want to try to get back into.
While we're on the topic of the timer specifically, did you guys have any thoughts on the overall pacing and tempo?
Oh, it's an intense game. I feel like if you are not doing miniature control on this game more than any other version of Zombicide, you're in trouble. Because especially at orange level, the numbers that the spawn zones start spitting out shamblers and alphas, you can run out of miniatures really quick. And running out of miniatures for alphas can be a death sentence real quick.
Yeah,
they're pretty brutal.
and it's exacerbated by like this over here, for example, like Zeus's spawn zone. It's going to spit out shamblers and alphas often, right? And every time they move towards the noise token, they're going to stomp on spots with sleepers and wake those guys up, and then there's even more. Right. So the population gets out of control quick when you let it. And often you're on the timed ones, you're going to let it because, you're just like, well, I don't got time to just sit here and kill zombies for fun. I've got to get to the objectives and get to the helicopter or the vault or whatever and get out of here. So yeah, it's pretty intense. The pacing, I feel like it's really well paced, this game, and the tempo is really good. There doesn't seem to be like a lot of like upkeep or just things that kind of slow the game down. Not really. It all feels really smooth.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's a lot of dead time. I think the only time the game slows down from my perspective is figuring out splitting because of the number of interior spaces and grids that you play, trying to find where there's actual openings and where there's solid walls and how the miniatures are actually splitting towards a noise token. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it can be cumbersome sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I've still only played 2 games, so there was a handful of checking the rule book both times, and that was the slowest part. But overall, it seems like I think it's pretty well paced.
Yeah. I think that that's a good point. Like the shamblers, it's hard to remember all their little things, or not the shamblers, the sleepers. It's hard to remember. It's like, oh wait, okay, when you move out of the zone, that's when they can activate. But you just roll die for that. So it's like, oh, I have to remember both those things out. Okay, and then like, oh, when enemies move into their zone, I have to do the thing like so. Like I had to read that over a bunch of times to remember everything that has involved with the sleepers.
Ryan, do you mind if we go back?
And that's why I said, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You wanted to show it again?
Other things. Yeah, there's just a couple other things I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to go through all the missions and how they play, but I just wanted to point out mission 6 because it has a map that's incorrect.
Uh-oh.
If you if you look at the map, there's a wall on the second floor, the middle floor, where there's 5 hallway spaces. There's a wall between in the middle. So that tile needs to be rotated 90 degrees to be correct. So
this
when you're
one, the
setting
one
up
on the
your
right.
mission, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You need to rotate that 90 degrees to make it correct.
Or otherwise, it's incompletable. It looks like as it is. Yeah.
Right.
And then mission 7.
Yeah, just 2 things to bring up. The hidden vault. So there's also
very
another.
hard.
Very hard.
Well, it's also hard because the map is incorrect in the vault zone. So the mission tells you to put your people when they come downstairs into the trap zone, but then you see there's a symbol to the left of the green spawn zone where you're supposed to put your people.
Yeah.
So the map is correct. The instructions are incorrect.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
the survivors are supposed to go where the survivor starting zone token is, not the trap zone.
Not the trap zone, but where the blind token is. Okay.
Correct. Second thing is it's the only mission where nobody can die.
Oh,
No
jeez.
survivor can die in this one.
Oh, man.
All the rest of them, you can lose a person or two depending on mission parameters and personal.
That's what makes it very hard.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's pretty much all I wanted to bring up about the different missions. I just wanted to point those out in case anybody else had questions about that.
So since you've played all of them 300 times each, which is your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Just inflating the number of every time we talk about how many missions James plays, it goes up.
No, honestly, the first one is hard to beat. There's a lot of moving parts to it. Everybody has to be working as a team. The only negative is if you're the sad person that has the mechanic, then a lot of the game you're not getting to do much. But other than that, I think it's a really good mission. But also one of my favorites is the mission where everybody has to complete their personal objective. I think that's a lot of fun. Just because if you're playing with a bunch of people, then everyone's like worried about themselves and they're not as worried about helping you out, So now you're like, oh crap, I'm a 1-man army now. I don't have my team with me. What do I do? It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's just so much there's just a lot of nuance, a lot of nice different little things going on with this game. Bravo to Phil Barros and team, who have with Marvel Zombies and with this game, who keep up in the ante and who just keep kind of making things, just keeping things fresh. Thank you, Simon and designers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although what comes with a lot of moving pieces is custom stuff.
Yeah, actually, I'm pulling up Figma.
Oh, okay.
What'd you call me?
Figma. I have on Zombicide the all Zombicides mission templates and map editor, and I have updated it to include Army of the Dead. So you could create your own custom Army of the Dead missions. So if you haven't checked this out yet, just go to again zombicidefans.com. It's already live there. And then you can there's a whole mission template, a whole very editable that I can't access because I'm not logged in. But just know that this is actually, all this text is editable. All this stuff, you could type it into the mission, whatever you want, the mission briefing, all the objective stuff. I even have the tape over here. Very proud. I have a generic, when I do this, I usually recreate one of the missions, probably mission 1, from my template components. And yeah, you can take this mission template and drag it into this area and then go over here onto the right and get all the different mission info box, the tiles, all of the different tokens and things, and just drop them and build your own mission, whatever mission you want. And because it's all in this one file, you could combine, your Zombicide 2nd Edition, your Marvel Zombies, your Black Plague, whatever you want. Go crazy and just combine all the components and just make whatever crossover crazy missions you want to and post them on zombicidefans.com so everybody can enjoy. So yeah, that's up. It's ready. Go get it.
Awesome.
All right. Rules you might have missed. I wrote down a few. James, do you have a few also? Curious?
I do. So the main reason why I wanted to put the bolo gun down there is because I don't remember, I'm pretty sure it doesn't say this on the card, that after you get a successful hit, you discard it.
It's one of the
Um,
single-use ones, yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
remind
and
us what the bola gun does. Just first of all.
Okay, so you shoot the bola gun at a zombie. It's a 2+ to hit, and it can never be better than that. The minimum accuracy is always 2+. And then once you do that, you lay the miniature down on its side, and then for that turn, anybody that attacks it gets an extra +2 to their die.
I think everything's minimum accuracy is always 2+. I don't think anything can have 1+ accuracy.
There's automatic hits.
All right.
The reason why I put that on there is because there's +1 to die rolls and that kind of thing.
Right.
But a one is a failure.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
What else you got?
We have single-use abominations.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Do you guys recall?
I don't think so. It kind of makes sense, especially you kind of feel it in Corebox. I brought up a shocking number of times this episode in Marvel Zombies when you only have a handful and they come back and you're like, well, how does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, we got to go kill zombie Thor
Doctor
again.
Strange again.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean that's another unique thing about this edition of Zombicide, and I really like it. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I mean, normally the games don't last long enough to where they would come back around again, because either you've won or you've lost.
Good point.
But I do like that.
Good point. And you know what? Like, I don't know why it never comes up on this show as much as many hours as we talk about these games, but like my biggest gripe with the older Zombicides has always been the length of these games. It's like, that's all we're doing today now. Like, we don't have time for more other different games or whatever. It's going to take 3 whatever plus hours. It's going to be crazy, especially if we have a lot of players. But this game, you don't have to worry about that, or you're guaranteed not to worry about that if you've picked a time tracker missions. 7 rounds, like, it's going to be pretty snappy.
Yeah, overall, we talked a little bit about pacing. I don't like time my games. I think it might be overall faster, though.
Yeah, I think it is.
I feel like I've either won or lost this game in less turns than your average Zombicide game.
Less turns.
No,
I mean, like, overall time investment, because there are
Well,
some things in this that take more time than an average turn, like
and
stuff.
And that's hard to gauge. I mean, if you're playing solo, it could take so much time because you're trying to figure everything out. But if you're playing with 6 people, it can take forever because somebody's having a conversation with somebody else and not playing the game. So, you know, I mean, I don't judge games by how long they actually take time-wise. I'm talking about number of turns. Like, how many turns does it take you to accomplish or lose this game?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say time-wise, because like Ryan was saying, like, if we pull out this game, is it the whole night? And that's more of a time-wise thing. But as far as like engagement, I think turns is a pretty good metric.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, all that to say, like, I too was like, wait, the first time I was faced with that, an abomination being eliminated for good, I was like, wait, what? How is that going to work? Can that balance? Like, that can't be right. But it felt right. And it's because the game, I think, is just a little snappier.
Yeah.
And thematically,
I definitely
it's great.
feel there's a point in the game where Zeus shows up on the board and gets rid of his Zeus spawn point, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Like, normally you're not happy to see an abomination, but when he shows up on the board, I'm like, wow, okay, we got this.
Yeah. 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 Unless you're just really unfortunate, just not quite equipped yet, or he's going the wrong way or whatever, but that's good tension.
So another one I have on here is running out of sleepers causes extra activations, but you don't put extra miniatures there. Meaning, if you roll over a sleeper token and you only have 1 shambler left and you're supposed to put down 2, you don't put down the 1, you just extra activate, which is different from normal extra activation. Normally, if you spawn, say 4 shamblers and you only have 1, you put the 1 down and then all the others extract. I know it's a very small thing, but
Oh, okay. I didn't quite understand what you meant just by the writing, but I get what you mean.
and then there is a difference between Hunter and Reaper. I think a lot of people can read through those 2 rules and think, well, isn't Hunter just Reaper? But it's actually not. So obviously Reaper, if you hit a Shambler, you're going to kill a second Shambler, or if you hit an Alpha, you're going to kill a second Alpha. But the way Hunter works is you have to kill another kind of zombie to then kill a second kind of zombie. So if you have Hunter Alpha, you can kill one Shambler and then get to kill that Hunter. It's not the same as Reaper.
So it's like the opposite then.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I don't think I encountered that. I don't think I had anyone with Hunter.
Yeah, there's only one person that does. There's some edge skills here that I'd like to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
I think this is a good place to talk about it. So there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 skills here that we've never encountered before. There's some obvious ones like Hunter, an Explosive Master, Silent Killer, and then To the Rescue. So those 4 skills are slightly different. And for this game, To the Rescue, you could easily port that over to other games. It's not really specific to this campaign, but it is different from any other skill that we've come across.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. That's is that Marie? No, who's got that skill on her blue?
Chambers.
Chambers. That's right. You know what? Like, okay, having watched the movie, it feels like they screwed up. The Chambers should have Silent Killer, not Lily. Right?
That's fair. That's fair.
And I don't know if that also means that Lily should have To the Rescue, and like I don't know if that means they should swap. Maybe it does, but yeah, just for the movie, like literally Chambers is like the badass silent killer. She has such a great moment in that movie doing that exact thing. Like they really showcased her ability to do that. The only one who really did that in the whole movie. So why did they give it to Lily? That's okay. Whatever. Just a game. Just a game. Everybody relax.
It's just a movie. It's just a movie.
Just a movie. Just a movie. Just a game. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about, they stole a little something from this game called Massive Darkness, where when you kill an abomination and it's in the top right of their cards, +5 to all survivors, +5 AP to all survivors.
Oh yeah, everybody gets the AP.
Yeah.
I don't think we said that.
Which is so fun.
That is, of course, unless you blow them up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unless you blow them up with the no APs given cards. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's really cool that they do that, and I love the problems that can cause, like the tension that can cause. Like, well, if you do that though, it's going to boost someone into orange or to red too early, kind of thing. It's like,
right,
yeah,
it's fun.
But and then the noise token, it's moved during the end phase, not the zombie phase, like Undead or Alive. So if you're used to playing Undead or Alive, the noise token works slightly differently. Kind of like Concentrated Fire, they didn't include an extra paragraph that they did in Invader that covers friendly fire. They didn't include this paragraph either, intentionally, unintentionally, I don't know. But rules as written, it does not move. So if you've got alphas that run to a noise token and then all alphas go again, they're just staying in that noise token. They're not going anywhere else.
Right. Yeah, I ran into that earlier, actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's also hard for me to... that's one thing I have to keep going back in the rulebook and looking at again and again. Just like, wait, no, when does the noise token move again? Is it the beginning or is it the end?
I've never seen so much reference to the end phase in the rules. They seem to really like the end phase this time around.
Well, and they really blew it because they have the back of the book is always the reference, and it doesn't say noise tokens move during the end phase.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess I never noticed that. Okay.
Like that's the spot.
I'm not in the habit of checking the back as much as I should. I don't open up the rule book. Yeah.
I always have the back handy.
I always go around the long way.
Yeah.
No, that's smart.
On the back,
right.
I almost sort of write it in with ink, but I can't do that to my game stuff. But yeah, all it says for the end phase is the first player hands the first player token to the player to their left, and another game round then begins. Why did you miss this opportunity to put that? It's like a core rule. The noise token movement. Anyway.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think they'd put... I guess it's specific to missions, but you think they put the timer there too. Like, if the timer is in play.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So, totally. Ryan, what other rules questions did you have?
Yeah, so I had some rules questions, and I think, to the point of
a lot of them even.
Yeah, to the point that, like, I've seen a lot of different things come up online. I wish I would have kind of taken more of them down, but there's some stuff off the top of my head, and I really wish, like, hey, Simon, if you actually listen to this thing, I'm always going to be curious. At what point will Simon actually know that our podcast exists and listens? If you are, let us know. But you're probably like several hours in and you're not doing it. Anyway, please put out an FAQ for this game. So anyway, one question I have, and maybe you guys have an idea, is can Scott Ward's Born Leader allow Dieter to do his sprint ability during Scott's turn, and then do it again during Dieter's own turn?
I never thought about that. A lot of abilities are once per turn, and I never thought about how that interacted with Born Leader in like other boxes.
Yeah,
That's a
because
good question.
as written on the back of Dieter's card, sprint. Once during each of their turns, the survivor may spend one move action to move 2 or 3 zones instead of 1.
During each of their turns would imply you can't do it during Born Leader at all.
Yeah, that's kind of where I land on it too.
It's probably how I'd rule it, yeah. But I never thought about that.
What do you think, James?
I would tend to agree with that. It's kind of like a search, right? You can only search once per turn. So if I give you the action to search, does that allow you to search then again on your turn? I would say no.
Well,
Probably not.
I feel like there's been Born Leader in other Zombicide games where it's like once per turn. And like there's a difference between turns and rounds. Like a turn is a certain kind of survivor's activation. Like that's their turn. There are several turns that happen within a round, right? So Schmedley takes a turn, James takes a turn, Ryan takes a turn, and then once all those turns are done, then the round ends, right?
It's definitely a gray area. I think when something's once per turn, they mean once per round. That maybe they don't use the term round as much as they should.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe actually round isn't even the term that they use. Maybe it's something else.
On the back of the book, it does say game round summary. I'm noticing.
Oh, it is round.
Yeah, but it's the player phase, though. But it's the player phase that the turns happen.
They could say once per player phase. I guess that's kind of clunky, though.
Yeah.
No, I think
honestly, you could argue it the other way, and I'd agree with you. I agree with you that it's a gray area. I tend to play it as the intention of it is that you can only sprint once per.
And I think that's the idea. I would love Simon to win, though.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely rolled that way because it just feels way too broken to allow him to sprint twice around. But I do remember exploiting where it did feel like you could. It's just the sprint so strong. So strong. Okay, Silencer. There's an equipment card called Silencer. And it says you could attach it to another or to a weapon. How exactly do you attach a silencer? Like in the game, do you literally put the card on top of or underneath of the other one, or does it just stay in your backpack?
That's how I did it, first edition scope style.
If you take this game in a vacuum, how would you know how to play that?
Yeah.
Like you've never played any of the classic Zombicide, you've never played Invader. How would you take that? In a vacuum, I don't know. I'd probably put it in my backpack and think it took up an inventory spot. Yeah. I don't think that's their intention, but that's only because I'm bringing, 12 years of playing Zombicide with me.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what their real intention was.
Yeah, I'm going to read the card exactly. Silencer. Attached to a ranged weapon permanently, it becomes a silent weapon. That's it. So, and there's nowhere in the rules that says anything about attaching, I think. I could control F it here.
I'm pretty sure you're right about that.
Yep, it does not come up once. It does come up once. Where is it? Players take they take a colored plastic base and attach it to the survivor's miniature to help identify it. Okay, that's the one time attached comes up in the rulebook. So yeah, for me, I attach it Zombicide Invader style, where I just turn it to the left and put it underneath the ranged weapon that I've attached it to, so that I could see that the name is sticking out and it helps remind me that this is a silenced weapon. That's how I like to do it at home.
I think that's their intention, but again, I'm just forcing my opinions on their intentions.
Right. One thing I got way into my head about this one, I was like arguing with myself in an empty room with just me for a while about like, can a booby trap be combined with a jerry can? Because I kept reading the cards and looking for the answer there and it wasn't there. But then finally I did read the rule book enough times in the explosive section. You could just combine any explosive with any other explosive, right? To combine their damage.
That one I'm 100% sure on. That one is, to me, I understand where you're going, but I think it's pretty clear. The idea is to combine explosives.
Yeah. Because like on the cards.
It seems pretty obvious, yeah.
Yeah. It does, like intuitively, but I was just reading the cards. I was like, this, I can't make sense of what these two cards say, all these words on them and how they, what? So yeah, just know if you're ever in an argument with your buddies or yourself, that just kind of, just in general, you can combine your explosives, whether or not it seems completely intuitive or not, on the cards. Do explosives make noise?
Does it not specify? I thought, of course, they do.
Right?
I'm shocked it doesn't say that.
If there's no noise symbol on the card, then no.
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
That is a difference. You mentioned that they ripped the noise token from Undead or Alive. There's no boom side.
I know, they forgot the boom or the bam or the whatever. Yeah.
I think it's bang and boom. Yeah.
Bang and boom. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, is that thing something you guys would house rule? Like, because it just doesn't seem right?
This whole time I've played it, explosives make noise. I have no idea why they wouldn't. There's no noise token on them, but you don't really do an attack action with them. So I think that's probably why they're not labeled as making noise. I'm shocked there's nothing in the book that says they make noise.
I think this is one of those cases where they felt like they had enough rules that they didn't want to add an extra layer of complication that Undead or Alive has. Because they could have easily just ported it over and said,
Ported it over exactly.
anytime a jerry can or a TNT or whatever, you get a boom, right? And then that's where the noise token goes. But I just
Should
feel
probably
like
come
they
up a lot more in this than in that. Yeah.
I just think they figured there was enough going on already. Why add this? I don't think there's any reason. I don't think there's any reason not to house rule it if that's what you want to do. But at the same time, remember in Undead or Alive, the boom happens in the zone that the explosive goes off. So that could cause some problems with some other things.
Oh, we weren't talking about house ruling specifically the boom side. That was more of an aside. Just the idea that explosions should make noise when evidently rules is written, there's nothing saying they do, is odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the thematics of it bothers me too much, probably, than it should.
I actually wouldn't mind bringing over the bang boom. That's an interesting idea, though.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to do it. I tend to not house rule stuff if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you're right. It doesn't really need it, probably. I mean,
no, yeah.
Yeah.
To the real question, I think explosions make noise. It's too weird to have them not make noise.
Right? Yeah. So I wonder, maybe in my here's what I want to do. In my future games, I want to house rule that they do make noise. And then I want to see if that actually breaks anything. Like if that, like James is, I think, alluding to, yeah, but they might have just left it out to keep it cleaner because maybe it does kind of cause problems.
Maybe.
So I want to see if I
guess
can
it would need
find the problems.
some testing.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Elevator. I guess there's more rules you might have missed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I already talked about that. Okay. Yeah.
Where it's more like stairs.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know why it's not just stairs, and I guess it's because in the first mission they needed to be manual, and that makes no sense for stairs.
Yeah. Well, in the movie, it's an elevator.
And there's stairs.
Oh. Right.
Remember Scott and his daughter go up the stairs and chaos ensues.
Yeah, that's right.
Could have been either way.
Shucks. Are there any other rules you guys remember seeing questions online or anything that were like, wait a minute, they should have put an FAQ for this?
So I definitely think and this is less an FAQ and more, I guess, a revised rule book. I brought it up a few times. I think everything to do with the personal objectives and how they work could be worded better. But because I've seen a lot of questions about that. But as far as stuff we haven't gone over, I think we've covered everything. I saw some stuff about combining explosives, even though I thought that was obvious.
Yeah, I agree with you, Schmedley. Honestly, when I was learning to play this game, the personal objectives, I felt like I had the idea in my head of how they were supposed to work, but mechanically, when you get down to the nuts and bolts, I found myself questioning the rules and myself and my understanding of them more than any other rules in the game. It seems like something that should be really easy, but for whatever reason, I just kept bumping my head against them.
It's kind of awkwardly implemented. Like it's weird that they exist as a token on the board, but they're also like an ambiguous kind of achievement that you do.
Hmm.
And then also there's like a buff you get, but it's kind of not related to the achievement.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot going on with there.
I,
Yeah.
I like the variety the personal objectives provide for sure, and the different tensions and different push and pull. But yes, I agree. Like it is definitely the most clunky part of this game, and it's going to take some getting used to of how to do that, and
It
hopefully,
might just be because it's very out there as far as Zombicide mechanics go.
Well, for all the custom content creators out there, I know somebody's come up with the epic weapon versions of second edition with the concept of undead or alive having to earn them through the bounty weapon system. I would love for somebody to come up with all the characters from second edition's personal objectives. Somebody come out there, do that.
nice.
I want to see it.
That does sound pretty cool. Yeah.
The challenge has been
let's do
issued.
it.
Do it.
Come up with
All
their starting kits while you're at it.
376.
Yeah.
Yep.
Port them
All
over fully.
376 people do it.
My God,
Yeah. Give me 2 starting kits and a personal objective for every character.
Yep.
man, somebody would do it too.
I want to see it.
All right, who is this version of Zombicide for and not for?
So I think this will appeal to pretty much your main audience. Like I haven't seen the movie. I'm not like a huge fan of the movie, and I thought it was a pretty solid game. Like I said at the top, it scored really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure why people don't talk about it as much. I guess it's just because it's a side game. But I don't see any problems with it. So I think if you enjoy Zombicide, you'd probably dig this.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things like the delays. So it came out like a while after the movie. Like if it came out when the movie was coming out on Netflix and was big, that would have been a different story probably for the hype of it. They didn't seem to market it much at all, if at all.
Yeah, this came out like last
Just kind
year,
of came out,
which
just
is
sort of appeared
pretty late.
It's never on sale, and there was no Kickstarter for it. So even like Night of the Living Dead, like you mentioned earlier, it's they released a Kickstarter. It's pretty small. Like there wasn't a whole lot to it. There's just a small
It's
box
the worst
of extras.
Kickstarter in the franchise. Yeah.
But it was still
Worst
at least a good marketing engine, and I think probably a lot more. I would wager that a lot more people own that game than do Army of the Dead.
Maybe. Yeah.
There's no way I can know that, but my guess. It's because there was a lot more marketing around it, I think.
I've definitely seen more discussion for Night of the Living Dead, which would imply that. I kind of thought it was just because that's a more popular movie, but it might be because of the marketing of the game itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this game could actually benefit from not being a Kickstarter because I'm not saying that this is the best Zombicide ever made, but I'm saying if you only owned one Zombicide, this is one to consider.
Yeah.
It has a lot going for it. It's very self-contained. I think there's a lot of people, actually a vocal minority that probably looks at this game and goes, they're never going to support it. We're not going to expand on it. It's not compatible with this, that, and the other. And so it sucks. I don't want it. But I think you're looking at it all wrong. This is a self-contained game. I think it's perfectly fun with a lot of replayability with just what's in the box. You can house rule and come up with all your custom content to your heart's content. And it's really not that big of a stretch to see how you could play this game with second edition Zombicide. It's really not. And in my mind, while it's not directly compatible with it, there's a lot of opportunity there to make it compatible. So for your vocal minority that is like, well, this is just not the same, blah, blah, blah. I disagree. I really think if you had one Zombicide game, this is one you should consider, especially in a modern setting. Obviously, if you're into superheroes, this might not be for you. But I really think that this is for that person that's like, I've always thought about buying Zombicide, but I've never gotten into it. Well, get this one because you know what? If you like it, cool. And if you don't, it's just one thing. You're not buying a $350 Kickstarter to get everything. You're just getting this game, which I think is pretty cool.
That's a good point. This is like the most self-contained Zombicide because like Night of the Living Dead has that extra box. The like smaller DC and Marvel games is like, yeah, you could get that and just that, but then there are also, more abominations you could have. So that is an interesting way to look at it. This is the only Zombicide game, except again, I guess Gear Up technically, that you get everything for this version of the game in this one box.
And I think, and again, and not to beat a dead horse, but if you're just going to own one Zombicide game and have it on your shelf to break it out every couple of years to play with your buddies, this works perfectly. It does everything that any other Zombicide game does, and
This
more.
this is a pretty solid one.
And if you're one of those people that really wants to get in the nitty gritty of homebrew stuff, well, then you're going to own it anyway, and you're going to come up with all your own stuff anyway. So it doesn't have to be compatible with everything else. You'll figure out how to make it compatible.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be that hard to make it compatible. Hey, especially with the Zombicide mission templates and map editor.
Hey, there you go.
You got a whole toolkit right there. But yeah, I completely agree. And I was looking at it the exact same way, James. This is a great like, I don't know. Is it right to say, like, if you had to only own one Zombicide, get this one? You know, like
I can't argue against it.
Right?
Again,
it's a good argument.
That's still invaded for me, but this is pretty solid.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, the caveats are, again, to James' point, like, it's such a nice self-contained box. Like, you want to take Zombicide somewhere, just take this one, you know, instead of taking your stacks and stacks and stacks of your other collection. Or like, okay, if I had a friend who was like, what's the Zombicide thing about? And I might recommend this one because, you know, you don't feel like you're going to be missing out because you don't have all of the stuff. And, you know, and, or like, if you're not someone who ever wants to worry about that, or you don't want, not someone who doesn't want to be tempted by all that other extra stuff, you know, you don't. And for those that are kind of like big collectors of Zombicide, but not necessarily completionists, and you like the modern setting, I think, you know, yes, I also think you should, like, this is worthwhile because it's not just, they didn't just paint on some IP. They didn't just paint on the Netflix Army of the Dead movie. It's so much more. There's so much more cool variety in this game. Mm-hmm. And again, to James' point, like, if you want to customize and mix and match, you can make it work, certainly.
Mm-hmm. On that topic also, because this is how I received the game, if you give somebody as a gift Army of the Dead, you are not assigning them collecting homework.
Yes.
Like you are if you happen to give them Invader, which I also received as a gift, and that turned into this. So
right. Whoops. Okay. What's your favorite and least favorite thing about this version of Zombicide?
So I'm a huge fan of Concentrated Fire. As much as I love Invader, I do think this implements it better. So I'll have to go with that.
For me, my favorite thing is the personal objectives. Playing with, different groups, people look at those differently. Some people see them for what they are is really nothing that special, but some people take them really seriously. And then that's all they, concentrate on, which is really fun to see because you kind of learn what kind of gamers you play with that way. And that can be a lot of fun.
What about you, Ryan?
Gosh, it's so hard to say. Maybe my favorite thing is the time tracker. Just because it's great tension. Like I've kind of wanted this in Zombicide games for a long time, and I know some do it to some degree, like with the night day stuff. But yeah, I think it's great to add an extra lose condition and a timer to a game, and it'll help keep the game at a nice, for the missions that do use it, keeps the game at a nice short playtime and rounds. What's my least favorite? Gosh, I guess it's the personal objectives, just the fiddliness that we've mentioned of it, of like, wait, what do those do again? How do those work again? When do those trigger? Who does it apply to? Oh wait, did we lose because we weren't tracking that the whole time? Like, did we already lose and we just didn't realize it? Just all that stuff is just a little messy, and it'll be really interesting to see how they might revisit that in a later game and clean that up.
I'll say my least favorite is, I mentioned it before, you said it wasn't a huge deal. I don't like that 3 of the 5 classes get nothing unless the mission tells them they get something. Other than that, they're just stamps on a card. Even if it was something tiny, I think it'd be cool if they got something tiny.
I think my least favorite part of the game is I'm starting to see a trend with a few games like Rio de Janeiro and this one particularly where there's a lot of cool concepts and cool new terrain, but I'd like to see the rules tightened up a little bit with some of the ambiguities out and the artwork on the tiles. I'd like to see just be a little bit more clear as to what they're supposed to be. I can
For like the
obviously
divisions of zones. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I understand that people get tired of the whole grid system of this is a building, this is a street zone. Wouldn't it be cool if we added some other stuff in? I'm all on board for that. Just as long as artistically it's very clear. This is still this zone. This is still this zone, as opposed to well, what's actually touching what, and what's actually lined up. That's probably my least favorite part of the game.
So if you like Army of the Dead, a Zombicide game, you might also like. I mean, do we have anything for this aside from just more Zombicide games?
I have one. Hear me out here. I've mentioned this before, and thematically, it is nothing like this. Nothing like this game. However, Nemesis has limited ammo. It has strict character archetypes. It has personal objectives. It has a one-time big boss monster that doesn't respawn, and you're on a time tracker.
Yeah, and it can be a screw your friend over kind of game for a
It
cooperative
absolutely can be. Yeah.
game. Like this game, the theory is not there to screw your opponent over, but you can.
It's there. Yeah.
Nemesis definitely has that baked in.
Has it baked? Yeah, unless you play the co-op mode, which there is there if you prefer that.
Right.
There's a full co-op mode, fully supported. So I guess that's mechanically. I know normally I go thematically, but mechanically Nemesis has a lot of the fundamentals.
Yeah, I don't have anything new to say to this that I haven't said to any other Zombicide game. I mean, it's still Zombicide. It's got a lot of cool new stuff, but it's still Zombicide. So unfortunately, I haven't come across any new games that I can recommend.
I was hoping you'd say Nemesis. I still haven't played it. I never will. I've had the first 2 campaigns worth. I was like, I'm just going to sell this because who wants to buy the first 2 campaigns of Nemesis? Because I can't. It's taking up too much space.
My wife does.
Yeah, I got it as part of the third one. They had like the whole Trinity pledge, where you could get everything from all 3 campaigns.
I don't even want to know how these obscene amount of money that was all at once.
My wife thinks she wants it, but that's just because she's lost at it, and so now she wants to beat it.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, for me, if you like Army of Dead, you might also like Arkham Horror Files games. I'm kind of getting back into those again recently. Because you have to find them in expansions, but there's often like personal stories or personal objectives. Mansions of Madness is fun because at some point, if you take too much sanity damage and you go insane, you get an insanity card. Cthulhu Death May Die has it too, but you start with it. But in Mansions of Madness, you get it mid part of the game, and you flip it over into your secret personal objectives now. So in order to win the game, you also have to do this thing. And sometimes it's straight up literally backstabbing your friends, becoming like, sorry, spoilers, but, and other times it's other things too. Like you might be a klepto and now you have to take like every object you could find. It's all kinds of crazy stuff.
I was kind of thinking of Death May Die because there's also a time tracker, and also you're trying to do a specific thing to summon the boss as soon as possible. So he stops messing with you from off the board.
Oh yeah.
Just like Zeus.
No, you're right. Yeah. Death May Die is another good one, and same company. Yeah. So same design, sensibilities and things.
Yeah. There's also a lot of similar just on the, because they're probably the 2 most similar things that Massive Darkness is closer to Zombicide, but it's up there.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts on Army of the Dead?
I have one final question for you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry, not for you, Schmedley, because you haven't seen the movie. Why does Bly Tanaka not have the combination to the safe?
Yeah,
it's his casino.
Right, his casino. I mean, spoilers if you've seen the movie, you know why. Right?
No, I don't, I guess. I missed that part. Please tell me.
Oh man, James didn't watch the movie.
Yeah. spoilers is because it's a red herring, because what he really wants is the spoilers, like, yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay,
You don't
yeah.
want to spoil it. I know what you're talking about now, but still, it is still his casino.
And so
His
why
name's
didn't
right on the
anybody else
building.
question it? Yeah, like
Yeah,
that could have been a quick one line in the movie somewhere where one of the guys would be like, "Hey, why doesn't he know the combination?" You know. Actually, you know what? I think that maybe like, now we got to watch it again. Schmedley needs to watch it once.
Schmedley, you watch and then get back to me.
I'm pretty sure
right.
that there was like a
For
little.
the next hour and a half of the podcast, let's just all watch it together.
I might be making this up, but I'm pretty sure that like a little bit, like, or just like little talk, little chatter, someone mentioned that, like, or maybe he mentioned it in the whole briefing, that the code changes every 48 hours or something like that. Or the
Okay.
combination. You know, because it's a really
Okay.
smart, sophisticated system, and so it changes all the time.
Sure.
I don't remember that, but I'm going to believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. Either I made it up and I'm super smart, or they said that in there somewhere, or that's from a different movie. All right. We hope you enjoyed our review of Army of the Dead, a Zombicide game. Next episode, we'll be reviewing Zombicide 2nd Edition. Finally, we're getting to it, the big flagship game. Our book club mission, if you want to follow along, will be M24 Ram Speed. So yeah, looking forward to that episode and sharing and comparing or contrasting our notes on the mission, the book club mission. All right. So that shuts the casino vault door on this episode. Thanks so much for listening or watching. Good night, everybody.
Stay nice out there.
Happy gaming.